Well, hey team, welcome into our April product release explained. Thank you all for tuning in with us here on LinkedIn. Would love to hear where you're tuning in from on the chat if you guys are in with us. We are really excited about today's session and really kind of a new format that we're looking at putting out in front of you guys here to explain a few things and join with a couple friends on the team with James and Jay. James, our head of product, and Jay, our director of solutions engineering. So thank you all for tuning in with us. Appreciate you guys joining in.
Thanks
Hey,
for having
nice.
us, man.
Love it. So we are going to get into a little bit of talking about kind of the why behind some of our product release here. And so we just felt like Jay and James would be a great person to really come in and explain this a little bit. And so for folks that haven't met you guys, would love maybe James, would you give a little intro of your role, what you're doing here on the Drone Deploy team, and Jay would love to hear from you a little bit too.
Yeah, of course. So my name's James. I run the product and design teams at DroneDeploy. I've been here for coming up to 7 years, so I've seen a lot of stuff happen. The the goal of my team is to build the most valuable things for our customers, and so that's really what we're thinking about all the time. We spend a bunch of time with customers as well, and it's been a great ride so far.
Love it. And Jay would love a little intro for folks that haven't got to meet you yet.
Yeah, great to meet everyone. My name is Jay. I lead our solutions engineering team here at DroneDeploy. Been here for about 5 years, but been in the drone industry for about a decade now. Our team is the team that works with many of you listening on the call today to help unblock you on some of your reality capture challenges, whatever that might be. We know reality capture is hard and all-encompassing. And so working with James and the broader product and engineering teams, we really hope to help many of you take advantage of drone technology, 360 cameras, ground data, whatever that might be for each of your businesses. So thanks for having us, Grant.
Love it. So we're not going to go through all of the product release notes. If you are interested in going through that, check out our blog post. It is all there. We know that many of you guys are going to be excited about what we have put out. This session is really intended to talk a little bit about the themes and really what our 2023 is going to look like as far as some of the updates of what you're going to see in our product. And so we really felt like having James come on and talk about it from a product side and Jay kind of talk about it from an industry side was going to give a really good context into the why behind some of these things that we're releasing. So I guess really kind of want to start out with is James, maybe talk about some of the themes that you are seeing as we're really developing and building out more of the product.
Yeah. So this is a very high level look, but this is how we understand the value that we can deliver in this market. Almost every single one of our customers cares about these three themes of work. So the first is unified, and that's bringing together all of that reality capture. That's aerial data, ground data. Folks are capturing stuff on their mobile phones. Folks are capturing stuff with drones, robotics, 360 cameras, LiDAR sensors, you name it, video. And the challenge that we see across the industry is that this data is all bunched up in silos, and some people have access to it. You definitely don't have the whole picture. Most people don't have the whole picture, and so folks are having to make decisions based on outdated information or no information really at all. They're traveling worldwide sometimes to get data that already exists, and we know that there's a huge amount of efficiency and competitive advantage that our customers can get out of having all the data in one place. The second part is automation and being automated. So collecting that data can be time consuming. And our goal on the automated side is taking something that can be difficult, frustrating, something else that you have to add to your day, and making that take nearly no time. We're really always trying to take steps out of the process, automate things. We started out with drones, with the robots flying around. Actually, the first thing we did was automate the drone flight because that was the hardest problem in the industry at the time. But nowadays, we don't just automate the flight; we automate the filtering of images through our smart uploader. We automate the analysis. We have various automated insights that can be generated, and also we automate on the ground as well. And we have our ground robotics platform where you can program Spot and a variety of other robots to go and conduct inspections across a variety of different industries. And then the third part is that intelligence. And so really there is this wave, the sea change in the capabilities of machines to extract information from imagery and also from text. And so what we see there is an opportunity to really shortcut some of the tough and menial and frustrating tasks that folks have to do every single day, and also to look at this vast quantity of data and start to derive some insights. If you are capturing your whole job site, you're capturing all of your fields, you're capturing every asset that you have in your organization over time. How do you know if something's changed? How do you know where your attention should be drawn? Which room is behind schedule? Which of your pump jacks is bearings are failing? Which of your subplots is performing best? There's so much information in the data that's uploaded to the DroneDeploy platform. We really want to create ways for that data to provide insights and help people make better business decisions as a result.
Yeah, that's great. And I think what's really interesting to get your perspective with, Jay, is kind of this idea of these aren't really industry specific themes, right? Like they touch and are really across all different industries. I think before we get into some of the specifics of what we are releasing here in April, maybe touch on that a little bit about how these are really themes that are across all industries that you get to see, which is really exciting too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that I've heard of across most of the customers that I've spoken with, both in construction, oil and gas, renewables, property, whatever it might be. At the end of the day, they're trying to document, digitize, and analyze some part of the built world. And so, from a unification perspective, I've heard of. I was working with a construction company recently that had some folks that are going out and capturing LiDAR data in some aspects of their site, other project teams that were doing photogrammetry models for earthworks measurements, and others using 360 data for interior MEP inspections or validation. And so unification of all that data is really important, because at the end of the day, what they're trying to do is inspect their site or analyze their site in some form or another. And so that's something that I've heard most customers ask for, even over the past few years as we've grown as a company and started to encompass a lot of other types of reality capture data. And automation too. If you don't know what the word photogrammetry means, great. That means we're doing our job great at DroneDeploy, because photogrammetry is hard. It's a complicated process, and there's a lot that some of the customers I've spoken to have asked. How do we make reality capture, both capture, processing, analysis, reporting, as easy as possible? And there's a lot of different technologies that need to work well together in order to make that happen. And that's ultimately everything we've built out in the product, and what our customers continue to hear and use DroneDeploy for. In fact, our flight app, for example, for most users, only gives you 3 options. You select your altitude, and in other cases, you can decide whether you want to do an enhanced 3D or not. But what we've really done is made that incredibly easy to use. And the RTK support that we just announced as part of this April release is another step forward for especially our customers in construction, as well as some of our customers in energy, surveying, and other industries that need high accuracy data, to get high accuracy data without having to think about the complexities of capturing that data. So that's made it incredibly easy for them to do their day jobs at the end of the day. If they're a project engineer or project manager or BDC manager, they've all got day jobs. And so making that aspect of their jobs easier means that they can get back to their job and be able to ultimately get data from all the reality capture work that they're doing on their sites. And same thing goes to intelligent, like James was mentioning earlier. It's about how do you not just look at the thousands of photos or videos that you might be capturing on your site, but how do you actually get intelligent insights from that data that you're capturing? And so for construction, it might be doing pre-pour analysis. For our oil and gas customers, like James mentioned, could be identifying rigs out on site. For some of our agriculture customers, it's about doing crop scouting and checking vegetation health. and hundreds of other use cases that I'm still learning about from many of our customers. So
Yep.
very exciting. And I think these are the three key pillars that really allow our customers to adopt reality capture data, regardless of if they're in construction and agriculture and oil and gas and renewables, whatever their industry might be.
Yeah, and that's a really important point to note is like, hey, we see these themes, we hear these themes, and ultimately we are building things to really standardize these themes. And I think that's what gets really exciting. And let's get into like what that's looked like in this release. So it's April. We're obviously putting out new features in there into the product. So James, just kind of at a high level here, how have those themes impacted what has been released in everything that you can go read in the blog post? That's great. But again, we're here to really explain the why these things got released that you're going to read about.
Yeah, absolutely. So, DroneDeploy's role is to make these things simple. We're trying to make it so that anyone in your organization, anyone on your project can get the full power of this data. And towards the end of last year, DroneDeploy merged with InstructionSite. And InstructionSite are the best-in-class solution for ground media capture, in particular in the construction industry. And so one of our big goals for this year is to bring all the best capabilities of both the sort of legacy DroneDeploy platform and the legacy InstructionSite platform together into one unified interface. And actually, DroneDeploy was already some way down that road already. We built out a product called Walkthrough, which did that. It fused the aerial and ground together, but there was clearly a long way to go, and that's why we saw so much value in bringing InstructionSite on board. Now, the difference with DroneDeploy is we don't just serve one industry; we serve a number of different industries, and this is a very common problem across all of the industries that we serve. Is you've got this data, you've got multiple perspectives, and you don't want multiple systems for those. So on that unified side, our number one goal there is to make it so that you can very, very quickly discover data of the thing that you care about. You can zoom into the corner of a room, a facility, a project, and if there is data there, you will find it. If you need to filter down to a specific month or a day, did we capture that in March? Great. You can just filter down to that and you'll be able to get to it. And so our goal for this year is to make it so that really any of these types of data can be found almost instantly by diving into DroneDeploy and searching for that project and location.
And James, I'm curious too, like, what does that look like? Like, what does that look like in this product release here in April that that users are going to see?
So there are a couple of new things that we're releasing here. So we've got the on the InstructionSite side. I think everyone now will have access to locations, and that's being able to draw bounds around important parts of your project site. On the DroneDeploy side, we've actually added summary data to every project and every level in a project. So if you want to very quickly figure out, is there media captured on this particular level, you'll be able to find that very, very easily. The other thing that folks have asked for a while now is in the Walkthrough product is being able to see a drawing-oriented view. Right now, everything in DroneDeploy is geospatial. So in general, north is up. But once you're working with drawings, often people on site really just want to see their project as a drawing-oriented view. And if you're working on a facility or an asset and you have a drawing of that facility or asset, you're probably going to want to orient it based on the floor plan versus where north is, especially once you're in the building. So that's one of the smaller changes that we've made there, but there's a lot more coming. As I said, we're slowly rolling out the ability to see ranges of dates and find data over a larger swath of time. That comes up a lot from our custom calls and interviews.
And one thing I want to transition to is the automated part. And Jay, I know your team, along with one of your solutions engineer, Adam, has done a great job of just highlighting the Mavic 3 Enterprise and what it's looked like to add RTK onto that. And so would love to hear from you on kind of what you're excited about here on the automated phase of what's coming out here in April.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was talking about earlier, reality capture is hard, but getting accurate reality capture data is even more difficult. And we know that better than most, working with customers in construction and surveying that are working in specialized coordinate reference systems, and even doing some of the most basic things like identifying changes over time, which you might be able to do if you were physically on site, can be more difficult when you're starting to look at different types of data formats. So what I'm really particularly excited about here is, in the past, my team, Adam especially, would spend quite a bit of time with our customers to help them understand what their map accuracy is, how they can improve their map accuracy, how they can leverage other types of high accuracy tools like GPS units, set up ground control points, and validate that in Drone Deploy. And those are still fundamental, important parts of accurate data in Drone Deploy. But with our current release with flight support for the Mavic 3 Enterprise RTK, as well as automated RTK coverage support through our flight app, that just makes it really 2 steps easier for our customers to get automated, reliable, and accurate data whenever they're using the DroneDeploy flight application, which ultimately means every new data set that's uploaded into DroneDeploy is going to be automatically aligned and accurate, and makes it that much easier to do things like change over time analysis, doing cut fill analysis, identifying what has moved or changed between 2 subsequent maps. That is ultimately what most of our customers are trying to do with this data.
Yeah.
Also,
Grant, I would just jump in there because the key thing for us is these things have been possible for a while, right? It is possible for an expert to do this with drone, with a drone, with ground control points, with RTK, with PPK, all of those acronyms. That's been possible for a while. It hasn't been easy, and so our goal is to make this ridiculously easy. We want it so that we really want people to have high accuracy data by default. Because if all your data is high accuracy, it's so much more valuable. As Jay mentioned, you can compare over time. You can start to do change detection in 3 degrees of freedom. You can look for change versus your model, and you can also look for deviation analysis as a result of that. So really for us, high accuracy data is the baseline for some of the more exciting and interesting analysis work that we can do long term. And so our goal this year is just make it dead simple. Anyone should be able to get the highest accuracy data inside of the DroneDeploy platform, and they should be able to get it every single time they fly.
yeah, well said. I think what's great about this is, resources like this, and obviously engaging with the folks that are tuning in doesn't stop here. There's incredible content that both Jay's team and James's team has put together to really help educate you around some of those things. If you haven't seen our RTK and Mavic 3 Enterprise white paper, we'll put a link to that in the description and in the chat here just for you guys to have access to. It's an incredibly easy way to understand what automated and what accuracy looks like within DroneDeploy. So would highly encourage you to check out that as a resource as well. And then fellas, let's just round it out here with intelligent. There's if you are scrolling through anything social these days, you're seeing everything around AI and so much machine learning, which is just super exciting, but often overwhelming as well, of all the things that, what does it mean? How does it impact me? What does it look like in the tools that I'm already using? And so I guess, Jay, I'll kind of kick it to you to start. And then James, maybe if you want to kind of round us out of really what you guys are excited about of some of these things that we've been releasing around the intelligent part of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to come here in general, but this kind of ties into automated and intelligent, automated and unified as well. Generally, the customers that I'm talking to, like I was talking about earlier, are project managers, they're site managers, they're asset managers, they're inspectors, and so they are using drones or 360 cameras or whatever type of hardware they may be using to ultimately try and get insights about whatever it is that they're looking to do. And so I think intelligence is really a core part of what we do, and James can talk to a little bit more about that. But I see that as being really a crucial part of what a lot of our customers are asking for and demanding from DroneDeploy. we ultimately aren't building a product for photogrammetry. We're not building a product for engineers, and I'm an engineer by trade and heart as well. But we're trying to build a product here that's designed for field users to be able to use Drone Deploy in the field, which might be different than other tools that they may have used in the past, where you don't need to be an expert pilot in order to use Drone Deploy. You don't have to be a photogrammetry to use Drone Deploy. You don't have to be a surveyor to be able to do some measurements in Drone Deploy. And so that intelligence is a key piece that my team has worked with a few of our customers on in years past for a construction that could mean doing cut fill analysis and identifying quantities of earthwork that have moved across time. For those conducting doing interior fit out and installation, it could be checking mechanical, electrical, and plumbing and ensuring that it's been installed in the right location according to their BIM models. For our solar construction customers, it's knowing what's been changed according to their design and ensuring that their solar farm is being constructed against that design and it's operating according to their original design. And of course, in construction, one of our first products we released a few years ago in agriculture was being able to automatically do stand count analysis for corn and soybean for agronomists. So at the end of the day, they're able to use drone technology, DroneDeploy's flight app and map engine, and some of the insights that we've integrated through Corteva to be able to generate something like a stand count analysis report fully at the push of a button.
Yeah. I guess James, this is like an incredibly exciting topic. And I think give us a little preview of what customers are and should be excited about as we kind of look at this intelligence piece.
Yeah. So I would say the next release, our summer release, is going to be the most exciting one that we've had for a very long time as a result of all the intelligence products that we're going to be talking about and announcing. So definitely tune in 3 months for that. But right now, one of the things that people maybe don't know about DroneDeploy is we have a ton of intelligence products already. And what we mean by that is things like we have big box retailers who conduct pavement condition assessments and roof condition assessments of every single one of their stores across the US on DroneDeploy, and we provide them these reports automatically. Every single minute in the daytime during the US, a drone takes off on DroneDeploy to measure someone's roof for a solar installation, and we provide full 3D models of those roofs to a bunch of solar providers now across worldwide, and that enables them to make measurements faster and cheaper than they could with humans, and putting fewer people in danger. And we have technologies like our stockpile AI and historically like our count AI, which enable people to count and measure very, very quickly inside of DroneDeploy in ways that historically would have been a lot of boots on the ground work. So there's a lot there already. I don't want to give away too much of what's coming in a few months' time, but basically the advancements that we're seeing in AI are making some things that even 6 months ago I would have said were not going to be possible in the next 5 years. So the world is moving very, very fast here, and rest assured we're going to be providing as much power as we can directly to our customers as fast as we can.
Yeah, well said. And I think the important thing for many of you that are probably listening in and hearing this is you don't fall into being an intelligent tool. Like many of the things that we've built have been over time. And I think the point that you made, James, that is really exciting is that the advancements and how fast things are moving right now has really been at a pace that we've never seen. And so to build on that foundation of being an intelligent tool and then tapping into all the horsepower that's coming out is truly exciting. So with that, we want to kind of wrap things up here and to just appreciate you guys tuning in. This is, again, our hopes to really give you guys more insight and clarity around what it is we're building, why we're building those things. And again, go check off the blog post to really understand what those specific things are. We hope you guys took a few things away from this. And again, just want you to be introduced to more folks on this team, which is really our intent with bringing James and Jay on here. And so thank y'all so much for tuning in with us. We hope you guys are excited about this release as we are. And so if you have any questions, please do reach out. We want to find more ways to put content out there to support you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Thanks.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.